Welcome back guys. In this lecture we are going to learn React forms. So for this I want to create a new project in this React projects folder. So to create a new project we have to use the command npx create react app. Present we are now in hello world project. So to go to the React projects folder we have to write cd double dots. Now we are in React projects folder. Now we have to create a new project with the command npx create react app. Npx create react app followed by the application name. Here our application name is react forms. Press enter. It will start creating a new React application for us. It may take around 2-3 minutes. You can see here our project is created successfully. If you observe the React projects folder, now we have a new application with the name React Forms. So click here to expand it. Now we have to navigate into this React Forms folder because present we are in the React projects. So I will write cd react forms. Now we have to execute it with the command npm start. You can see here our project is executed successfully. Now we will open Google Chrome and we will run localhost 3000. Here you can see this is the default output for any React application. Now we will edit app.js file in the source folder. Click on this source folder and select app.js file. And here I will remove all the default stuff in the div. And I will write the heading as React Forms in the h1 text. React Forms. Control S. Here you can see all the default stuff has gone. Now we have only one h1 text in the output. Now we are going to create some input fields because in the forms we have to put input fields only. First I will create the form tag. Form. Afterwards I will write one input field. Input. So here the type is text and I will write the placeholder. Placeholder is equal to username. Here you can see an input field is created. Now we need to create a button. After clicking that button we have to get the input field value in alert. Means we are accessing the input field using some techniques in functional component. Now I will show what technique it is. First we have to create a button. I will name it as show input value. Show the input value. Here you can see we got the button, but these are in horizontal direction. Now we have to get this button at the bottom of the input field. I will write the br tag in between the input field and button. Here you can see now we got the button down. First input field, afterwards we have the button. Now we have to implement the hooks concept in this app.js component because we are working in the functional component. So for the state management we have to use the hooks concept in functional component, and in class component we have to use the state methods, this dot state. So as I said in the previous lecture only, from this video onwards we are going to use only functional components. We are not at all using class component because in class components the code is very lengthy and boilerplate code is very high. That's why we are focusing on only functional components. So first I will create a hook with username value. So here after the function I will create one hook. Const, in the square brackets you have to create a hook with the value username. So to change this value you have to write the set method. Set username. We have to initialize it with something. I will initialize it with empty string. Use state. That's it. Now we have initialized the variable with username, and the set username is the method which is used to change this username value, and we have initialized it with empty string. Now we have to assign this username to the input value. Now I will show you how to assign it. Value equal to username. Control S. So after clicking this button, we have to get the value of the input field. So I will write on click for this button. On click is equal to, we have to execute one function, show input. I will create this show input in this area. Function show input. In this I will write the alert message. In this alert we have to print the input field value. So to get this input field value we have to access with this username. I will simply write alert username. Now let's see the output whether it is working or not. So I will type something in this input field. So I will write JavaScript. Here you can see I am typing, but there is nothing in the input field because we have to write the onChange event for input field in the React.js. Without onChange event, we cannot create the input fields or forms in the React.js. Keep it in mind, for every input field you create in the React.js, we have to use the onChange method. It is compulsory. So I will write onChange in this input value. OnChange. So here in the onChange, you have to change the value of the username. So for every change in the input field, this onChange method will occur. So we have to write something in the onChange method. So I will write equal to operator and I will write the curly braces. In this we have to set this method. Here you can see set username. So for every onChange method, we have to update this set username method with the input value. I will show you how to use it. So in this onChange method, you have to write the arrow function. Curly braces. In that curly braces you have to write the arrow functions, parenthesis followed by the arrow. Afterwards you have to use curly braces again. This is the arrow function. So it's difficult to understand, but you have to listen. So in the onChange method, first you have to write the curly braces. In that curly braces you have to write the arrow function. This is the syntax of arrow function. First you have to write the parenthesis. Afterwards you have to write the arrow symbol. Afterwards you have to write the curly braces. In these curly braces, you have to write the set method, set username. In the set username, you have to write the changed value of the input field. So whenever you are adding any new alphabet to the input field, this onChange method will occur. So for every time you add new alphabet to the input field, we have to update this set username. So that's why we will take this onChange method as input event. So here I will take the parameter as the event, or EE, simply E. Here E stands for event. So in this E, we will get the value of this input field. Now we will update this set username using this E. So I will write the set username as E dot target dot value. This is the syntax of input fields in React.js functional component. So it's very difficult to understand at the first time, but you have to listen it. First we will see the output whether it is working or not. Here I will type something in the username. I will write JavaScript. Here you can see now the text is coming in the input field because of the onChange method. JavaScript. So after clicking this button, we have to get the alert with the message JavaScript. So I will click this button. Here you can see we got the alert with the message JavaScript. So this is the way to write input fields in React.js. Once again I will explain. Here we have created a input field in the form element. So here the input field type is text and we have written the placeholder with the value username. So in traditional JavaScript we have to access this input field by document.getElementById or document.getElementByClass, etc. But in React we should not write those things. So it's very difficult to access document.getElementById things like in this React.js. So we have a special approach with the help of hooks. So here we have created a hook with the name, variable name, username, and the method which is used to change this username value is set username. Here we have assigned this username to the input field. So whenever the onChange method will occur in the input field, we have to update that value using the set username with the help of arrow functions. So here this is the way to apply onChange event in the React.js for input fields. I will create one more input field, then you will understand better. So here I will create the new input field with the name input, type is equal to text, and placeholder is equal to password. So here for assigning value we have to create a hook with the help of const. So for the password also we have to create the new hook. Const, in the square brackets you have to write the variable name password. Afterwards you have to write the method which is used to accept the changes for this password. Set password. Then we need to initialize it with any value. Use state. I want to initialize it with empty value only. Now we have to use this password variable in the password input field. Here we have to use the value as password. So if you write anything in the initialization of this password variable, then it will be applied to the input field only, because here we are assigning the value as password to this input field. Suppose here I will write the password as Udemy, then the input field consists Udemy value. Now let's see the output. Here you can see in the second input field the value is Udemy. So that's why we need to initialize any input field value with empty string only. So I will remove Udemy. Control S. So between these two input fields I will use br tag. Control S. Now we have two input fields, username and password. Now we have to write the onChange event for the second input field, means password input field. So I will write onChange event. OnChange. So for every onChange we have to write the function with the help of arrow functions. So to write the arrow functions, first we have to use the parenthesis. Afterwards we have to use the arrow symbol followed by the curly braces. So this is mandatory in input fields for the functional components with the help of hooks. So to get the value of the input field, we have to use the event in this parenthesis, E. Now we have to use the set password method. Set password, and we have to update the value by E dot target dot password. That's it. Now for this onClick method, we have to alert the password now. Before we have alert the username, now we have to change it to the password. I will alert the password. Control S. Now we will see the output. So whatever the text I will write in the password, that should be written in the alert dialog. So I will write the password as Udemy. Now I will click the button. Here you can see we got the output undefined. There is something mistake in the code. Let's find out. So let's see the error in the input field. Input type is equal text, placeholder is equal to password, value is equal to password. In the onChange method we have written the arrow functions. So to update we have to return the set password e dot target dot value. So instead of value I have written the password, that's why it is raising error. So here we have to write the value because we want to print the value of this password. That's why we have to write e dot target dot value. Now let's see the output. Here I will write the password as Udemy. Now I will click the button. Here you can see we got the output Udemy. So like this way we can perform the form handling, means we can get the input values using the functional components with the help of hooks. Thank you. In the next video we are going to learn about the submit event, means form submit event.